Hello, this is Pigsy doing another video. My voice starting to sound a little better. I had a coffee and it made it too strong. So what I did is, where I was around this person's place, is added a bit of nutmeg. And that's got some psychotropic effects, it's going to be good. You have to have loads of it to go off your head, I think. But it's meant to have some kind of relaxing. It does actually. It does relax you and soothe you, nutmeg. Probably why they have it on a winter's night when you're a bit run down. And added a bit of ginger. That seems to have been good for the throat. The brain kind of looked for it. I tried a little bit of ice cream in it as well. I tell you what, though, when you're in ketosis and you add a bit of sugar in it, you get this like buzz of energy up your back, and it's like you've switched gears. So I need to grab something to eat now because I've been going for 24 hours without any food. And so I've started a feeding cycle, so I might as well have a good feed and then leave it. So it's useful what I've learned. I've learned that refeeds need to be important, that you have a really good nutritional refeed. So if you're a bit run down, your energy's low, because I just go fast. And so I never really break from it. I'm just doing a 24-hour fast or something. And so the refeed really is when you kind of break that a bit, or you put your calories up so nearer to what you get normally. You still end up losing weight. I don't think you put it on, but if you raised it, you just give your body a break, because it might need. I mean, I don't know how it breaks down fats, but it might need to actually restock on a hormone that breaks down your fat. It could be a lot more complicated than it appears. Not going to risk it really. Drills. Okay. So there's a few other things I wanted to talk about. I had the most crazy dream, and I had a Kanji in it or something. It's like a kind of fox spirit demon or whatever it is. More like fairy lore actually. I think it might be associated with another person, but whether it's because of all these plants I've got growing in my thing. I've got a few bromasias and other things popping up. They've started to grow in the bowl, so it's pretty good. And so my dream, I could see the image in my dream, and then I realised that it was real, and my consciousness raised, so I realised that the thing looking around is looking like this, sort of, his head. It was, I was trying to make sense of it. It was like a grey foxy type wolf, but it had long pointed ears. It was quite interesting. His ears were quite sharp, pointed. And I sensed it was either maybe it belongs to someone or is its own entity. I kept my distance, but I was looking at it. It was real. So it's a bit messed up seeing that. I did have it when I was resting. I had this like flash of light in my head. So that's sometimes something near me, entity or something. So that was quite a unusual experience. So yeah. So it could be to do with my plants, and if so I might end up getting more of that, because in my bedroom I just got loads of, well, not in my bedroom, but in my front room I've got the Datoras, and then I've got a brumasia that's growing in my front room. We normally put it out in the garden, a bush like that. And I've also got growing there's some little ones as well, because there was a mixture of seeds, and I had this big pot and nothing was going on, so I thought I'd add more seeds to it. They just got lower germination rate, that's what it is. So I've ended up spraying them. I've been sort of giving them a light misting in the evening so they get burnt out. And I've been doing that every day, just a quick bit of not too much water. And so these seeds have started to germinate. So there's a mixture. There's also henbane, black henbanes in there as well, or Nigeria, or whatever you want to call it. And the other thing I was thinking about was also in relation to the laws of attraction, what happens in rejection. And in rejection you end up carrying brunt of the energy. I guess the worst rejection you feel also suggests the potential for the relationship. But the difference is you're carrying all that energy. Until you release it, it won't go back to the sender. And when it does, they might feel a sense of guilt. They might start thinking about you. You've basically carried the load. So you've carried the bandwidth. So the energy's come through your area, and like a circuit, you're kind of sending it back. And then what happens is you have a dissipation effect. So they will think of you. They will release their energy. The energy comes back to you. And so that's where you find your mind wanders. You think about them. Then you stop thinking about them. Then you heal a bit over it. You think, well, that's just silly to think that or this. And then also different thoughts. You're still attached to that person spiritually. So the better you handle that situation, the better. If you don't manage yourself spiritually, you can have dire effects. Like you shouldn't have like too much dark thoughts. Like if you've had a thought, like, I'm going to get really angry and have a word with them and stuff. I mean, you may be projecting that already to them. So when you do see them, and you see them with anxiety in them and fear, you feel like the worst human on the planet. Even at that moment in time, you thought it was a good idea because you were in pain or whatever come up inside you. And sometimes the worst you feel is potentially it's a double. It's probably your pain and their pain added together. It's just that you're willing to sacrifice yourself to control it basically and absorb it. So it's why it's a repulsion. It's equal and opposite reaction. It's equal because it's their energy and your energy, but it's opposite because you've taken it all in, and then you're going to project it back out. And then there's going to that part of the healing process, like all things, is with energy. It's very much about the mechanism for releasing things. The quicker things move around, the better. Otherwise, it becomes stagnant energy. Now, think of money. It's sat in the bank. It might be going in interest because it's working, and someone's making it work for you. But if it doesn't do anything, it's a stagnant energy. But if you actually invest it, use it, you're like transmuting it. You're doing your economic alchemy. That's what it is. And you're taking wealth and you're converting wealth into different things. Then it becomes a more productive energy, and it will draw other energy into it. Like a business, you know how you run a business. You're bringing things in, you convert it into finances, you're reinvesting. It's going to the people. It's transferring from value and wealth and consciousness. And then people are thinking about you in a positive way. If you was they saw you as somebody who just collects money and doesn't let it come out, then they'd have a negative impression of you. So that's kind of that different kind of attraction and use of energy. So in the same way, emotional energy. So you might want to pair up your negative thoughts with positive ones. So they're more appeasable, really. So you've got the good and the bad, and then you want to dissipate it. There's a technique like I've got to heal the heart as well. And where the cause and its effect, you concentrate on the effect and just healing. Nothing to do with what caused the pain. You know, if you're cut and you're bleeding, you treat the wound and then you let it heal. You don't turn around and concentrate on what caused it. You might think, well, I won't do that again. But you don't. Concentrating on the problem will never heal the wound. But there's a technique you can use to concentrate on the area of your body that's affected emotionally, and then you just meditate on that, and you meditate on healing it, massaging it with energy, light in there. Another way, if you have had bad experiences, and they do keep repeating in your mind, concentrate on a positive memory. Now, it's a beautiful quote, I think, with A Criminal Mind, about concentrating on one. If you've got one good memory, beautiful memory, whatever it is, use that and it will burn away the darkness. So other dark memories won't exist because this one memory is more important than all the others. And that could be anything. It could be your first child when it was born. It could be when you discovered a love for music or whatever highlights in your life. And you can create them. You can find inspiration in other things. And then that becomes just something you meditate on and it becomes a central point, a fixed point in your mind. So that's more the spiritual side of it. So yeah, anyway, it's a big sign off, and I'll speak to you soon.